now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PoGo.
It's PoGo! PoGo! It's PoGo! PoGo! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PoGo! PoGo. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Puckle Podcast. My name is Trainer Thatch. I am your host. Here today with my spectacular co-host, we have the Lord Seth Vilo.
Praise be unto him. It's me.
And Sublimemanic.
Praise unto the Dark Lord is me.
And we are here as always to bring you another exciting episode of the Puckle Podcast. Puckle, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between.
Like Pokemon Sleep.
No, I don't know if we talk about Pokemon Sleep.
Everything in between. Everything in between.
Okay, we do talk about Pokemon Sleep, but only to talk about how I think it's a ridiculous product.
Now that I don't have to continue the bit, yeah, it is.
Yeah. I legitimately think it is a ridiculous piece of software that doesn't need to be, like...
Yeah, but that's only because it's a ridiculous software that doesn't need to exist. But you know what? So is Magikarp Jump, and everybody loves that.
At least that one had some, like, silly playability.
Magikarp Jump, for the record, did get discontinued, like, years ago.
Yeah, it did.
I know. So sad.
That is no longer on the Play Store. And...
So sad.
It's not even on the Play Store?
No, it's not. It's not there anymore. It's just gone. It's like the Pokemon trading figure, Pokemon Duel. That's what it was called.
I thought that it would still be available, but just not like updated. Wow.
No. Yeah, it's just gone. It's not there.
It's going to be like Flappy Bird all over again. My phone's going to be worth more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Magikarp Jump is just gone, man. It just doesn't exist. Yeah. They do this with a couple things here and there. And yeah, it's just not there. Pokemon Sleep, my problem with Pokemon Sleep, I don't think it's Pokemon Sleep itself existing, but with a lot of people trying to justify its existence by being like, it helps me sleep healthier. And it's just like, no, it doesn't. You really just want to catch Pokemon in your sleep. There are apps that do exactly what Pokemon Sleep does already and better. Like, they're legitimately, some of them are free. The one that I do use an app very similar to this occasionally.
I don't track my sleep, but I use apps to get to sleep.
No, I use this one to track my sleep because it has the added benefit of what it does is it tracks your sleep, so it knows which part of the REM cycle you're in.
Yep.
And it gives you an alarm within like a half-hour window to find the best like time to wake you up.
See, I don't need to know what part of the REM cycle I'm in, because I'll know when I wake up in a deep sweat from a horrific nightmare.
I have the same one.
I don't get those. But the app helps me wake up at the proper time, so I wake up and I don't feel tired.
You know, I've been lucid dreaming lately, so I've been feeling good about it.
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually did my first lucid dream recently, and the fact that it took me like 30 some years to actually hit a lucid dream is amazing. But I finally had my first lucid dream, and it was a good time. It was a good time. I am bummed because I did everything else like cool in my, like I did the I am God thing and like just changed the world around me in my lucid dream.
Nice.
But I woke up and I'm like, oh man, I didn't do like the generic, I can fly.
That's my favorite thing to do. But you know what? When I fly in my dreams, it's like swimming through the air. It requires a lot more effort than you'd think.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it for like the first time I got to lucid dream.
Good for you.
Yeah,
you've achieved a new level of power.
I don't think I'll ever be able to do it again. Maybe another 30 years, but
if you could do it once, it can happen again, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know. What's worse is like my dreams are never like good. Like my brain is not very good at like replicating locations. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
It always has problems like replicating buildings, layouts, and stuff like that in dreams. So, like, it's very obvious to me, like, after the fact, or even, like, subconsciously, like, oh, I'm obviously dreaming. Like, this is
wrong.
This is not the way the building is laid out. Like, this building does not have stairs, but apparently there's a second story here. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's just it's very, very poorly done. Good job, brain. You're not doing well. on that one, on the architecture.
Honestly, that's your in to trigger more Lucids if you start figuring that out, I think.
Clocking that sort of stuff, yeah.
I mean, I've known this for my whole life. Like, this has just been like a thing that I've known my whole life. I don't remember what triggered it. I think it was just that I was almost waking up.
Oh, yeah.
But then I like stayed in the dream even though I wasn't awake yet. And I think that's what did it last time. I'm not sure. I'm not going to look too much into it because it's not something that I need to do on a regular basis. Nor do I have like a desire to do. Like, I don't know. It's not something that I'm like, oh man, I can't wait till I lucid dream again.
Yeah, right.
I mean, most of the time it's like, I want to go play Supermarket Simulator like again. That's what I want to do. Right.
Is that not what you could do in your lucid dream? Just go to a Walmart in your dream? I'm playing Supermarket Simulator.
You know what you should do? I'm going to bring this full circle. You could catch Pokemon in your sleep.
Whoa.
And then you wouldn't need Pokemon sleep.
That's true.
We brought it back.
And all of the Pokemon I catch will be shiny. Done.
Yep. And they'll even pass the hack checks.
You could even make new shinies.
Yeah, I'll make them better.
Yeah, you could make them better. No more ugly green.
I'll make them better. Yeah, like Espeon. What's up with that, bro?
You can make a red Espeon if you want.
Really? Yeah, right? It would be great.
Yeah.
I see wins all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would talk more about what I did in Pokemon this week. I did do some stuff, but 2/3 of our audience's enjoyment, none of it was TCG. I have been participating in the Puckle Badge Bonanza. I didn't get into it in August because, holy crap, my August was filled with a lot of work travel.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just tired and I didn't want to play Pokemon Unite with the few hours I was at home. Like the first half of August, I just wasn't home.
Yeah.
It was scary how much. Like after I saw you guys, actually, I just was not home for more than 4 days.
He never came home again.
Pretty much. So I was like, I'm not going to use the time that I'm at home to play Pokemon Unite.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time was me just catching up on the fact that I wasn't home. After that, you have to do laundry and other stuff.
Uh-huh. And just enjoy sitting in your house, honestly. That's...
Yeah. Is anyone ever actually done with laundry?
No, laundry is a perpetual problem.
There will always be more laundry. Because literally, while you're doing laundry, you're wearing clothes, which you'll then have to launder.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Saban, says you. Maybe you're wearing laundry while you're doing laundry.
Oh, well, I haven't gone to the nude beaches to do laundry, but I'll consider it now that you suggest it.
Bring your little washboard out to the ocean.
Yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone.
I'm going to get a good salt scrub on my laundry.
Perfect.
I gotta get that seaweed.
Stellar Crown did come out though this week, didn't it? It came out today, actually, as of recording.
Next week?
Oh no, it is next week. It is next week.
Because I'm running a pre-release event on Sunday.
You're right.
So.
You're right. It is next week. I got it backwards because my local game store does sell it the week before.
Oh yeah.
Not the week before, but
interesting.
The Monday before, because they do pre-releases. Local game stores can do that. They can sell sealed product before the week beforehand if they do pre-releases. And they did announce on Monday we'll be selling Stellar Crown.
The turtle looking good.
Yeah, they made the announcement as they were making the... I didn't follow this one as closely as some past sets, honestly, and I didn't realize it was also I didn't realize how much garbage they put in the set. I'm gonna be honest.
It's from a lot of the battle decks and stuff.
Yeah, I forget that Japan does that every year, and then for some reason they're like, yeah, let's just throw that in a set. And then you remember that Pokemon's for the collectors and not for the players. And it makes you a little sad on the inside some days.
So if you pulled a Venusaur EX in your pre-release box, I'm sorry, there's no Ivysaur or Bulbasaur in the set.
No,
you cannot use it.
There's a Venusaur and a Blastoise.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nuts? Why?
Yippee.
Why? Why did you do that to me, Pokemon? I don't understand. It's fine. Pokemon's for the collectors, not for the people. I don't know. Honestly, I stopped going to pre-releases.
I mean, that's why you gotta catch them all. It's always been for the collectors when you boil it down to it.
When I was at Gen Con last month, I did a build and battle event, and they let you choose the set, and I realized that.
Ooh.
And no, in that moment, I realized, pre-releases are really unbalanced. I shouldn't play this anymore.
Mm-hmm. I always have been.
Because I wanted to just crack some extra packs of Twilight Masquerade and stuff. So I picked the Twilight Masquerade ones. But the guy across from me chooses Temporal Forces, right? And he cracks open Temporal Forces. And he gets Miraidon, of course.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, okay, so I just don't get to play anymore. It's fine.
Right.
because you're just going to go turbo, and that's fine. That's fine. Have fun. Go turbo. Have a good time.
You do it, buddy.
You do you. But Puckle's Badge Bonanza's been going on this month, and this month instead of Pokemon Unite, we have like a break week at the end of each month, where it's like something that's a little bit different for quote unquote half a badge. I forget how that works. Not my problem. It's okay. I act like I'm the one in charge, but I'm not. Yeah. And so that one was actually really fun because it was a meta that I would never have played otherwise. It was random baby battles or whatever it was called.
Oh.
It was Ranbats, but essentially Little Cup.
How odd.
But they like level adjust like they do for Ranbats.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so like some things could be good when they weren't good in Little Cup.
Interesting.
Because they'll get like that slight power bump by being level 7 instead of level 5.
Ooh, that's a big difference.
It is though. It is though. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. Our goal was to like, you just have to hit like 1250 on the ladder or something, which isn't like a big ask within a week.
That's not terrible.
No, It's like you have to play like 20 matches and like have like a win rate of 60% or something like that, which isn't ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I did it because I did say when I was done, I'm just done. I never want to do this again because it is very swingy based on the team you get, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else.
Yeah.
And hacks mattered so much more than in any other meta I've ever played.
Yikes.
Yeah, like paralysis was like the number one status condition I feared in every matchup. Oof. It was terrifying. Yeah, so I mean, but it was a good time. But now we're doing a Gen 2 playthrough, and this one's super easy just to get in on. You just have to play any Johto game. You can play Heart Gold, you can play Soul Silver, you can play Crystal, you can play Gold, you can play Silver. I'm not going to say officially, but people are playing ROM hacks. And we'll probably count it. All you have to do is by like September 30th on the Puckle server, show that you like beat Red. Like take a picture of you fighting Red or something. I don't care. And we'll be like, yeah, you did it. Good job. Here at the bench.
Good for you.
It's actually a lot of fun because like a lot of us are just like talking about it, and it's a lot of fun, and I get joy out of it. Just like sitting down and talking to people about it and listening to other people's experiences through Johto. And everybody can realize I'm right about how to play Gen 2 games.
Also, Johto has the best gym leader thing, as I was saying earlier.
You were telling me that earlier before we started the show. It does. I mean, Johto has some good solid music. I'm personally playing Crystal for a number of reasons because I don't remember the last time I've actually played through Crystal itself. Other than I guess I did it on the Game Boy, like the Virtual Console on 3DS a while ago. Because I definitely did it to like get the Celebi.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to do it. I have the cartridge, so I wanted to do it on cartridge and just play through it. But because I want to go play Pokemon Stadium 2 with the team at the end of it. But I also like there's a way you can actually take the save and like load it onto a 3DS and then get the Celebi and then like move all the Pokemon over onto Bank and stuff. So
oh, interesting.
So I want to do that. I'm having a good time with it, so I'm excited. But yeah, I guess that's the intro to the show because I took up 14 minutes, as always. Since I'm back, it's what I have to do. My ego won't let me otherwise.
You're fine. You're unpacking. We had to hear about your dream.
My lucid dreams. They were important.
Mm-hmm.
They're super important.
Incredibly important.
Uber important. All right. With that, though, guys, we have some news to talk about. So we're going to kick it on over to the news.
Coming to you live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to the news. In the news, actually, there's not that much to talk about. It's okay. Don't worry. I shouldn't say anything. Darkrai releases October 17th in Pokemon Unite. Yay.
For spoopy season.
It is. I guess it is spoopy season, so that does make sense.
That's October, not September. Okay.
I keep forgetting. So, like, the problem is, like, I'm not ready for spoopy season.
Okay, I am the biggest spoopy season advocate. Like, for me, I wish that we could abolish November and make it just October 32nd through 60th.
No,
that aside.
No, I disagree with you on a number of things.
Okay, I get that. Because, you know what? I'd be happy to make half of it December and just get rid of Thanksgiving. We can make half of it extra Christmas, half of it extra to Halloween. Here's the thing.
Whoa. Wait. First of all, to Halloween, I am more than happy to give it September 1st onwards, okay? Until the 31st.
Sure. I saw so much candy in, August. Yeah. In August. I'm like, oh, it's happening. It's like how I would get annoyed when you see Christmas stuff before December. I'm the biggest Halloween advocate, but I'm like, this is too soon. It is July, and y'all got Halloween candy out and stuff. I'm not here for that.
The weekend before Labor Day. So, fun fact about my life, and to let everybody into a little bit of a window of my life. Every Sunday morning, I do a walk through Target. It's just a tradition. It's just a thing my wife and I do. We just walk through Target. We typically don't buy
fun.
You get your steps. We
just go walk through Target on Sunday morning, and I. They have the seasonal section in Target, right? And, I watched a switch from summer things to back to school things. And the weekend before Labor Day, I remember very clearly going, why do they switch from back to school to Halloween already?
It was wild. I was like, this was the first week back to school, and I definitely saw Halloween decor for sale.
No, they need to do it the week after. They need to do it the week after Labor Day, or Labor Day weekend. I don't care, whichever one. After Labor Day weekend, because that's when kids are all back in school. Is by the day after Labor Day, and then we're done. We're good. You can have that. You can have post Labor Day all the way to 31st.
I agree with that, but I think we're on the same page. It was too soon. Soon. And I'm the biggest proponent.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's necessary though. Thanksgiving is practice dinner for Christmas. It's practice for Christmas. It's
I feel like
there would be fewer divorces if we didn't have Thanksgiving.
It's like
fewer fallouts if we didn't have Thanksgiving. The world would be a better place without Thanksgiving.
It's the dress rehearsal for Christmas, okay? That's what Thanksgiving is.
You came here for the Puckle holiday hot takes.
Yeah, this is the new segment, by the way.
You know what? In the emails, I'm sure we'll have a different email topic, but sound off on your opinion about the last 3 months of holidays.
Yeah.
Let us know how you think they should be.
Let us know.
Because I'm curious.
Oh, wait. Okay. Because we don't have any news, I do have a survey between the two of you to ask. Because this is something that came up with my group of friends. So when you visualize,
but you haven't talked to us yet.
When we visualize, okay.
When you visualize the calendar in terms of months in your mind, right? What shape does that make? Because for instance, I see it in a grid that is 4x3, right? It is January, February, March, April, and then we move down
interesting.
and then we get that. So how do you see it?
A long
I don't
line.
visualize it as a year. I visualize it month by month.
Yeah.
Kind of like a thing you'd flip through.
Okay, so you flip. You have a flip book. Yeah. Okay. Understood.
Yeah. I guess that's how I'd say I visualize it, because I think of the 7 days across when I visualize the calendar.
Well, so I have the little grids inside of my little months, but
Sure. I guess if I were to more macroscopically do it, I would probably have that with 3x4 as well.
Yeah.
My
you put birthdays on something like that,
That's is 12 boxes in a row.
That's a reasonable answer. So I had a buddy of mine. I had a buddy of mine. His visualization, the reason this conversation came up was he sees it as a straight line, pretty much like you do, Seth, up until August.
But then
it goes straight up to Christmas. And I'm like, what an insane
he took a Jeremy Bearimy on the way. Okay.
I go, what an insane take. I'm like, there are logical ways to visualize this, but straight up to Christmas. Okay, I digress. Did you know Darkrai?
You can't visualize because you have aphantasia, sound off about that too.
Did you know that Darkrai's coming out for Pokemon Unite on October 17th?
And the months have the same shade of light as the numbers 1 through 20 in my head.
Oh, don't get me started.
Have shades of light.
In my mind, every month also has a color, but that's a different topic for another day.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't have a color. I have a background image. I think
I don't have a background image. I just have a color. But my one friend tells me that it's not actually colors; it's patterns, because December is the only one that's not a solid color in my mind.
Oh, okay.
Is it red and green?
Yeah,
or is
red,
it like
it's like red with green stripes,
white,
like diagonal green stripes. You know, like
sure, okay,
Fair
that
enough.
works.
like yeah.
Mine's shades of light.
Okay, that's fair. But either way, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news. We're doing really well, guys.
Oh
that
yeah,
was,
so
we spent 6
I guess
minutes on
this is
that.
news for people. The first Grand Challenge is going to be running from September 20th through the 22nd, and signups will start on September 11th. Too soon? No, it's not too soon.
It's fine.
And make sure you register before it begins, and it's the current format, so expect rain.
Yippee!
Yay!
Yeah, water or gold. Yeah.
Yay!
Also, Dark Incineroar is the newest 7-star raid that's going to be running again, and Malamar can skill swap and die to make things not too bad for a solo. Fighting or Stellar
Not a bad
Terra.
play.
Superpower and Terra Blast. Yeah.
Cool.
Now you know. Also, Ponyta Community Day is this Saturday for you go-goers, and Dynamax raids are going to start on the 10th. I have been getting ads for the fact that they added Dynamax raids.
I think
same.
I really feel like the creators of the game are way more excited about it than anybody else.
Agreed.
I think they're just
Sure.
like, hey, remember that thing that Pokemon came out with 5 years ago? We're doing it
Remember
now
that
too.
new-
All
new
wish
mechanic.
they hadn't done in the first place.
Remember
Yeah, I
that thing that the video games did to mimic us in a raid battle? Now you can do
Remember
it.
that thing that replaced
again.
Mega Evolution? So I have a negative association with it.
Now you
and
can fight
might
a raid
as well?
against a large version of
Yeah.
a Pokemon, just like you do in a raid against
Although
a
you
large
could take
version.
a Mega to it, which is interesting.
That does sound like Pokemon Go. But yeah, all right. Seth, take us home with some TCG.
You bet. I got 2 last pieces of news. One, as we mentioned earlier, is that Stellar Crown releases this coming week. If you're at a store that's done a pre-release, you should be able to start buying it the day this episode comes out. So that's exciting. Yeah. The TCG Live decks are a Terrapagos deck and a Galvantula EX deck. So that's exciting that they give those to you. Those are kind of some of the more fun, hyped ones. Both of them are kind of good, honestly.
Galvantula's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. I'm like really jaded because I was playing hardcore for that bit. And I'm like, are you tier 1? And if the answer is no, it's like, get out of my house.
Get out of here. Galvantula can be silly, especially now that you can do the entire Regize with them, and that's a whole funny, stupid thing.
And yeah, I absolutely. I mean, I think Galvantula is silly. I don't know if it's good, but I think.
But is it Night March Joltik level good?
No.
But, dude,
Well,
the Joltik's good though.
you know.
Like, holy
It's
crap,
item
the
lock.
Joltik's good. Yeah.
But that's TCG news. Other than that,
Anyone
though,
ever playing item lock just hates people having fun.
right? Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
no, you're stuck in here with me.
Remember Vikavolt EX? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Vikavolt.
Oh,
V,
yeah.
that was it. I love Vikavolt V actually though.
Yeah. Final piece of news, though, is a Puckle bit, and the Badge Bonanza is going on still. And the next one is a Johto playthrough, as you mentioned
it's the
a
current
little bit
one.
earlier.
It's the current.
Oh,
not
the current
next
one. Pardon me. Yeah.
I forget what's next. I think the Nuzlocke is November. I forget what October is.
Okay.
But yeah, we're doing this, and I mean, honestly, I'm seeing a lot of success. So if we do this, we're going to do a proper one next year, where like every month something different, and we have like a full 12 months.
Seemed really cool.
It's a lot of fun. I absolutely encourage everybody to jump in and play. I apologize for not doing it earlier, but like I love it. I love it. So. Okay, and back to Wo-Chien's News Corner. News brought to you at a snail's pace. 10 years ago this week, Deontay was announced to release in the West, and they showed off Mega Gallade, Sharpedo, and Camerupt. They also announced the abilities of the Primals and hinted to Rayquaza getting a Mega Evolution as well.
Wow.
I hate
Deontay really is that girl.
I hate that 10 years ago as we were getting Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire news.
Right.
Oh, that is my favorite era. Oh, don't get me started.
No, it was such a good era. I just
10 years ago?
I just hate that was 10 years ago. That's what I hate about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
It's crazy.
I actually remember all of like the
that was truly the Pokemon Renaissance. That was the Renaissance.
I love Gen 6. Gen 6 was great.
Same.
But Gen 6 is probably to this day is my favorite, and I think there's a lot of nostalgia glasses on there to some extent but I think
it's nostalgia on top of its nostalgia when you think about it.
It really is with auras.
I remember one day Cleary, who was a co-host on the show at the time, he and I had been giving a lot of crap to the speculation that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were real, like they're going to be Gen 3 remakes in general, because you had a lot of like the Hoenn confirm memes and all that stuff going on for years, and
it was also the last good remake.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. In terms of like what we were getting in remakes, I think Shining Pearl or what was it? It was whatever Diamond and Pearl remakes, BDSP, Brilliant
BDSP,
Shining Pearl. I think those were good in terms of, hey, we took your DS game and we put it on a single screen and we made it not trash. I think they're good in that sense. I don't think they're on the same caliber as like a Heart Gold Soul Silver or an Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, or even
it was decidedly a step down. Yeah, it was a step down.
I do agree they were a step down. But I will, I don't want to defend BDSP like I do a lot of the time, but
I mean, how can you defend it in the face of Oros is the thing.
Oh, right? No, but either way, the story was Cleary on the show. He and I have been making fun of it. And so one day, this is back when all the co-hosts had my phone number. I think you guys have my phone number too, but that besides the point.
That's a story for another.
I don't actually know. And
we can get a hold of you.
You can get a hold of me anytime. And so he had my phone number, and I remember the day it got confirmed, I was actually like in my lab in grad school doing experiments, so like I wasn't paying attention to the internet because it was way before like smartphone like obsession and scrolling all the time was a thing. And I remember I'm in the lab, and Cleary was working a job for a video game company at the time, and all I remember is like he's been on the Pokemon podcast, and I'm like, I don't want him to get in trouble for being on the Pokemon podcast. Like that was always in the back of my head, like a minor fear. And so he calls me one day. He's never called me. And I go, oh no, he's lost his job because of the podcast. I was like, oh no. And I pick up, I'm like, hey Cleary, what's going on? And all he says to me without saying like, oh, hey Thatch, he goes, Hoenn confirmed. And I was like, and that's all he says. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, Hoenn confirmed. I was like, no way. He's like, check therapy. And he like hangs up. I was just like, oh no. He's probably listening to this and he knows what he probably has a better rendition, but I made it a little bit more fun. But yeah, it was a good time. All right. Nostalgia aside, Puckle's pokey opinion. What starter are you surprised doesn't get more attention? Sublime, give your answer. I know what it is.
I mean, y'all already know. It's got to be Snivy.
It is.
Justice for Snivy. Do you know how long I had to wait for Snivy to even be on the Switch?
You're right.
Don't get me started.
You're right.
Don't get me started.
Seth is.
Meanwhile,
I think that Tepig needs more attention on how it should be removed.
I wish we would get a good Tepig anything. Like a Tepig car would be really cool.
A good Tepig would be nice too. Oshawott got all the love because, they added it in Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
And it got a new form. And at least Tepig becomes a dual type. Justice for Snivy.
I'm surprised Swampert doesn't get as much. I do think it's like
it got a Mega.
I do think it's overshadowed by Trico and Blaziken. I think those two.
I guess. I mean,
I think it's a problem of
when
like,
I think of like
you have like a whole gen of Pokemon that are very good in design.
You know what? It's so funny because that's the first gen where I think. Well, I don't know if it's the first, but like Blaziken and Sceptile both have the bipedal thing going for them.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't it interesting that the only quadruped is the least popular?
That's true.
Even then, Swampert was could be bipedal, but yeah, Mudkip definitely doesn't need more attention because it's an entire meme to itself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mudkip probably makes up for Swampert.
And I was viewing this as more like the first form.
That's fair.
Oh, if you want to do it as the first form, man. I think I'm surprised like a lot of Gen 6, like I think Chespin and Fennekin are kind of forgotten.
Chespin needs more love.
I've been seeing
for sure,
Chespin slander on Twitter recently.
Chespin is adorable.
Chespin did nothing wrong.
And,
right?
Chespin was great.
It is Quilladin's fault, okay? It is not Chespin.
It is, because the thing is, Braixen is an icon and a pop diva, and Greninja is, like, a superstar. So, like, something for Chespin. Let's give Chespin something. Y'all right.
I agree with this. But, yeah. All right. Well, that is it for our news today. We are going to kick things over, then, to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The hosts can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. We're going to jump right on into it. We're going to give you your first question, and it's going to come from Bowling for Bear. In what generation of the mainline series games did Hitmontop's sprite/model first depict him standing instead of being upside down, balancing on the spike on his head?
Ooh.
I want to say 6, because they could not continue its model on its head
3D
when it
exactly.
switched to 3D.
They took away all his fun,
which is so upsetting.
Yeah,
I thought we were supposed to be moving forward.
Is that your answer then, Gen 6?
I mean, I feel like that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, YOLO.
Generation 6 is correct. And it also says, darn 3D
and now
models
he's a
did him
breakdancer
dirty.
Instead. He does the
Darn
side
3D.
step.
Yep.
All
he does the little dance.
I missed the head action. Yeah.
Your next question is going to come to you from Enchanted Voidicus. What move has the highest priority?
Ooh.
Which means priority bracket in terms of moves with priority. Which one has the highest priority?
I want to say Protect.
No,
what would be Protect?
Feint would be above that.
Well, the thing is, Feint breaks the Protect. Doesn't the Protect still have to go first? And then you break through it?
Oh, I don't know, actually. That's a good point.
Because I was thinking, Feint, but wait a minute. For Feint to work, they have to be protecting. Yeah.
Okay, that changes my thought there. Protect is pretty good, but I don't think it's that for some reason.
What could beat Protect and or Detect?
Protect with Prankster.
Prankster Tect. Jigglypuff from above.
I feel like it's some weird thing.
I'm sure it's going to be
like
some
a Follow Me
obscure,
or something like that.
Some sort of something. Follow Me is about 4, I want to say, but I think Protect is higher than
I felt
Follow
like
Me.
Protect is maybe 6.
Yeah. But I want to say there's a 7, and I can't remember.
I think it doesn't go above 6.
Well, if it can't go above 6, I'm pretty sure Protect is a 6.
Yeah. I'm good with it. Yeah. I'm good with it.
Yeah, Protect.
Protect is unfortunately incorrect. The answer is Helping Hand.
Oh, darn.
Ah, dang it. I knew it was something weird like that.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know that these numbers are correct, because I feel like Protect is a 6, but I could be wrong. No, this list is correct. As of Generation 9, Helping Hand is a +5, and Protect is a +4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nothing has a +6 or ever has, and Helping Hand has always been as the highest priority, like forever.
What do I know?
Okay.
Since
Good for them.
Since like Generation 3 when it was introduced. So we're all not smart. And that's okay.
Oh, well.
I mean, we knew we were going to get it wrong is the thing, but we couldn't have come up with the answer.
Yeah. All right. Well, your next question is your Pokedex entry as always. This one comes from Toganik, and the first entry comes from Pokemon Sword, and it reads, "It will regrow any branches that break off of its head. People keep particularly beautiful Pokemon's branches as charms to promote safe childbirth." Who's that Pokemon?
That's disconcerting.
What? First thought comes to my mind is Trevenant.
But there is no way people do that with Trevenant. There's just no way.
I don't know. What are phantoms?
You're like, oh, let me get this evolved dead child to have a good birth. That's like asking for a Trevenant to take your child. That's how I feel about it.
If the Trevenant's going to take
also,
the child, that means it's born safe.
When was Trevenant politely? When did anyone ever call Trevenant beautiful?
I think it's cool. What game was it from, Thatch?
Pokemon Sword.
Sword. Okay.
Okay.
Branches on head. I can't think of anything else immediately that has branches on head.
Right, like you immediately go to Trevenant when you hear branches on your head.
Yeah.
But
Sawsbucks are antlers.
that is bizarre.
And also not in Pokemon Sword, but continue.
Also that.
There's that too. There is that. I mean, the first obvious guess is definitely Trevenant, but whoever called Trevenant beautiful, I want to know.
I think the branches are beautiful, maybe. I'm not on Stick TikTok at the moment, but I've heard about it.
Stick talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick talk.
Yeah. It's a thing. And it's just people posting like, look at this stick that I got. It's a really good one.
You know what? It sounds like the kids are back in nature, so I'm okay with that. But
I saw one where it was like an 80-year-old man, and he's like, I got this stick when I was like 20, and I've carved it in a campsite, and I still have it, and it's great for lifting pot lids.
Branches.
It's just so sweet.
Branches.
I'm good with Trevenant for guess one.
I mean, let's guess it to start.
Yeah.
So we can get another entry at least.
Trevenant is incorrect. Yeah, your next...
I knew it wasn't beautiful.
Your next Pokedex entry is going to come from Pokemon Gold.
Oh, boy.
And it reads, it continuously sheds and grows. The tip of its head is prized as a treasure for its beauty.
What?
So it's a grass type. Let's just start with that.
It continuously sheds and grows.
And grows?
The tip of its head is prized as a treasure for its beauty.
Sheds and grows and has branches on its head?
That break off sometimes, yeah.
From gold?
And are kept
for
as
childbirth.
And are kept as charms to promote childbirth. Yes. Safe childbirth.
And its face is kept as a trophy because they're pretty? What?
Yep.
What is this? What horrible thing is this?
The answer, I guess, is going to surprise you.
The answer may surprise you. More in the caption.
It did. I am surprised.
Check the comments down below.
We're playing Subway Surfers.
Only below this segment of the show.
Only below this, yeah. Do you have any ideas? I've got nothing.
I mean, at first I was like, maybe Tangela, but there ain't no branches on that.
There ain't no branches on that, and that doesn't shed.
That's just vines.
And that doesn't have its face.
I could see it dropping some, like, vines, like noodles, like...
Yeah.
That's a story for another day.
It limits it to Gen 1 and 2, though. It could be something from Gen 1.
That's true.
Anything branchy in Gen 1? With pretty faces?
I can't think of anything branchy. Like, I don't think any of the grass types in Gen 1 are branchy.
Is it Stantler? Does Stantler shed? Ew.
That's disturbing. But
you know what?
Terrifying. I would believe that. I would believe that over some of the other stuff.
No, Dunsparce doesn't have branches.
I'm going to need an answer here, guys.
Oh, no.
Branches?
I don't know. Do we just want to say Stantler and move on to the next question after we get it wrong? I kind of do want to
move to Stantler, yeah, because I'm like, what is this bizarre... Wait, maybe is there a bug? No, that wouldn't make no sense.
Bug with branches.
I guess Stantler.
Yeah, let's do it. It's going to be wrong.
Stantler is unfortunately incorrect. The answer is Corsola.
Oh.
Corsola.
What?
Yeah,
okay.
Like coral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is coral branchy?
I don't feel bad.
Yeah, it's branchy.
What was it? The tip of its face is pretty? Is that what it said?
No. No. It doesn't say that at all.
The head is precious.
It will regrow any branches that break off of its head. People keep particularly beautiful branches as charms to promote safe childbirth.
The gold one?
The gold one was, it continuously sheds and grows. The tip of its head is prized as a treasure for its beauty.
Yeah, the tip of its face.
I guess. I mean, I don't
All right. Well,
that's why they had to make Galarian Corsola, because ain't no one calling that pretty anymore. But
all right. Well, you guys are 2 for 3. Your next question is your multiple answer question.
1 for 3.
Yeah, you are. You're 1 for 3.
We're one
awful.
for 3.
Your next question is your multiple answer question, as always. This hopefully you guys are actually the ones to answer this.
Oh boy.
Okay.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 answers for this question. We are gonna go ahead and ask you this. You know what? And because you guys have missed the last 3 answers, I will allow you to get 1 point for each of them. You do have 3 strikes, and then you are out. This one is from Umbreon 1080. With the announcement of the owner Pokemon coming back to the TCG, here's a question about some past owner Pokemon mechanics.
Oh.
Way to call us old is all I'm going to say.
What were the 6 possible suffixes for SP Pokemon in the TCG? Remember SP Pokemon?
What?
I barely do.
Suffixes?
No.
So at the end?
Suffixes?
You want me to give you one for free and then you get 5 points?
Hang on. No, wait.
I'm
so is it like
by the question, I think.
Is there like level X? Is that what we're talking about?
But it won't say level X. It'll say like it'll be like a letter or a couple of letters or a number signifying a group of people.
There was like C, Garchomp C, I think was one of them.
Yeah, I will allow that as an answer. C for champion.
I did not play
C for champion is in fact correct. That is one of them. Champion Pokemon were Pokemon in the TCG. Yes.
I think SP is another one.
Well, these are all SP Pokemon.
Well, the SP is the example. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if SP means like special quote unquote Pokemon or because like
it could Delta count.
Delta does not count. I will not take any strikes away for that, but Delta is not correct. These are all in the terms of like ownership for some for some. Yeah, with the exception of like one, which I think is hard to say, but yeah, I think one of them you're not going to get, which is fine because 5 points is what balances the whole trivia segment. So,
okay,
but you have one in champion in the letter C.
Yeah, is there like rockets or rocket?
Are you gonna lock that in?
As I don't think it was a suffix. I think that was more of a prefix where it was like rockets, Charizard.
No, that's incorrect. Unfortunately, I'm gonna give you a strike for that.
That was
rocket is unfact. Yeah, this is before. This is like the Gen 3, Gen 4-ish time frame.
Yeah,
I am the wrong person for that. I did not play the TCG at all during that time.
I didn't either, but I have some of the cards, so I'm trying to think of them.
Okay, so if it was Gen 4, maybe G for Galaxy?
Ooh, yeah.
G is absolutely correct. For Team Galactic, they had their own as well.
There you go. Okay, so like let's think about Gen 3 and Gen 4 type of people that would have stuff. Maybe Aqua and Magma? I don't know.
You do have the hint as well, by the way.
That's true.
I mean, we might as well.
Just like throwing that out there for you guys.
We're not getting a point for it.
Okay, so you guys have already gotten G and C. G for Galactic and C for Champion. There are 4 more. There was one that stood for a particular group of people that is in, I would say, we have 9 generations, 8 out of the 9 generations. You have a number representing a very common number for a specific group of people that is in every Pokemon game. You have 2 letters that represent something that was present in one particular Pokemon game, and had its own arc in the anime. And you have 1 letter that has nothing to do with the video game, and I don't know how to give you a hint for it. It is just a single letter, and good luck. Because like I said, 5 points balances out the quiz. So
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So one of them is, did you say one of them was a number?
One of them is a number, yes. Representing a group of people that is present in every Pokemon game. Well, just about every Pokemon game.
So what is a group of people in every Pokemon game?
The Elite Four.
Rivals. Well, it's right in the name. It's the Elite Four, not the Elite 5, not the Elite 3. Although that would be cool. That would be cool if they did like an Elite 5. I think we should go with that because there's not gym leaders in every game, but there is an Elite Four in every game.
That is correct. I will give that to you. That is 4. 4 was a prefix for Pokemon from the Elite Four.
That's cool. Okay. So you just had stuff like Glalie 4 SP?
I'm gonna try to find it because I actually don't see this anywhere. But
I'm curious. Like, what are the 4s?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I'll be honest to you.
The 4s will be with you.
Oh, here it is. I found them. It is
Salaman's 4.
It was from this set. Let me see if I can find it. But continue going on.
What was the next one? The next hint thing?
Oh, there's a group of people that is in 8 of the 9 Pokemon games.
Group of people that's in 8 of the 9.
And there is there's also
you said one was based on an anime arc, right?
There's a group of people that had
what was that
had a whole season in the anime, and also were present in one single Pokemon game, one mainline Pokemon game. Yes.
Is it? It's not Orange Islands or something. Is it?
That'd be a little too niche. I'm thinking like the Frontier Brains or like what's that thing where Ash fights the Reggies?
I have no idea. Star?
You know what I'm talking
Gold
about?
Star?
Who's that guy with the fortress with the Reggies? That's a person.
Oh, yeah, it's
Was that an arc? That wasn't a real arc, though. If it's like a whole arc, it's like Orange Islands or Frontier Brain.
Is there one like for the leaders? Because if we're talking gym leaders specifically, he said things that 8 of the 9 games have.
That is true. Gym leaders are in 8 of the 9. That makes sense to me.
Are you locking in gym leaders?
Gen 7 had to do its own thing.
Yes.
So, yes.
GL for gym leaders was one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
what were the remaining clues? One is the clue is I don't know how to give you a clue about this.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guess the other one though too, or no? You didn't get the other one.
I don't know.
You got you have G for Galactic, GL for Gym Leader, 4 for the Elite Four, and C for Champion. There was the other one that was an anime arc, anime arc, and also present in a single Pokemon game.
Okay, so
and then
we don't know what the last thing is. So the last thing is something that's present in both one game and had an anime arc. And when I'm thinking anime arcs, the only thing I can think of are like the Orange Islands and the Frontiers. But there are no Orange Islands unless the Seville Islands would count, which I don't think they would.
Is Mirage Island?
Was that I feel like they barely go to Mirage Island.
Yeah, I don't know if they do at all.
So I'm like, is it O or is it like FB or like
the Facebook saga?
The Facebook saga. I was thinking like Frontier. I don't know. Like, is it because O would be a good ending for something, right? Like, not that matters.
Tangela O.
Tangela O.
It's actually just sun-kissed orange juice. I don't know. I'm good with O for Orange Islands because I've got nothing.
I'm just stuck up on like it's in a game and an anime arc, so I'm like,
these characters are in a game and an anime arc. Yes.
Oh, the characters are in the game and the arc. Okay. Well, then it can't be O because there are no characters from Orange Island. Well, Brock was in Orange Island. Well, no, he wasn't.
Okay,
he's the only one that left. Oh, it's S for Pokemon Snap. Trace Todd. It's Todd.
YOLO. Yeah. Snap Pokemon.
As if. That'd be cool, though. I don't know.
I don't know either, honestly.
I mean, I need an answer. That's pretty good.
I need an answer.
Pokemon Snap. The S for Snap.
S. Let's go with S. That's a good letter.
Pokemon S for Snap is incorrect. Is that your second or third strike? Do you want to be your second or third strike?
I don't know. I think we're running out of stuff.
Okay, you're out of
steam. We don't got nothing.
Third strike, you're out. So the other two you were missing were the Pokemon FB for Frontier Brains.
Oh my god.
We were talking about it for so long.
And the other one that I couldn't give you a hint for because I still can't give you a hint for this. Were Pokemon M, and the M stood for movie. And they came in a special pack for the Japanese Pokemon movie, Arceus and the.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
But you guys got 4 there, so you're 5 for 4 now.
We needed that.
We 5 from 4.
We needed those. Yeah.
All right, your next...
Did all of the Frontier Brains in the anime appear in one of the games? Like all of them?
Yeah, they all appeared in Pokemon Emerald.
Oh, okay.
They were all in
cool.
Pokemon
Oh, you
Emerald.
know what? I never played Emerald. That's on me.
All right, your next question, your final question is your base stat question as always, and this is from a member of the Discord server who shall remain, I guess, mysterious because it is join the badge bonanza. What Johto (parentheses Gen 2 Pokemon) has the highest base speed?
Ooh.
This answer is pretty obvious when you think about it at all.
I'm thinking about Raikou off the top. It has 115, right?
Yeah, it's a 115. Crobat has 130.
Oh wait, what's Espeon? 110, I think.
Crobat's 130.
Okay, Crobat is 130. It's hard to beat that.
I can't think of anything else. Yeah.
We going with Crobat?
Lock in.
Because let's say it's Crobat. There's no way it's not Crobat.
Crobat is correct. With base 130. Next up is Sneasel, Mega Houndoom, and Raikou with 120.
115, huh? Yeah. Because it's not till it evolves that it goes to 120.
Yep, and then Jumpluff and Espeon at 110.
110, yeah.
All right, but that gives you guys 6 points today because I am jealous.
Woo!
Thank you.
Praise be unto Thatch.
Praise be. We are gonna go ahead and organize this with the points. I got the points from last week. I was better this time since I was gone.
Yippee!
I know. I'm becoming okay at my job after all these years. All right, in first place in our race to top 4 by the beginning of December. Is that what we're saying?
Whatever it is, yeah.
To have a chance in the final 4 in a matchup to potentially win a $25 gift card to $25 gift card to Red Lobster. We have Seth Vilo with 27 points.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, you almost there.
Followed up by a tie between Bocephus and R Sigma with 23 points. In fourth place, we have a 3-way tie between Claude9, Whimsicott, and Shark with 21 points. In seventh place, we have Sublime with 20 points. So you're not even that far out of the running.
7's a really lucky number, so it worked.
You're not even that far out of the running, though. You're only 7 points behind first. In eighth place, we've got Jushiro with 12. In ninth, we have Linian with 8. And in 10th, Shamu with 6. Everybody else has yet to get on the board. But with that, guys, we are going to jump on over to our topic. Hey, Thatch here. A lot of you have been asking how you can hang out with us during the week. Well, the best way to do so is come to our Discord server at puclpodcast.com. You can join our server and you can hang out with us, talk Pokemon, battle, do a bunch of cool things, join in our tournaments. So what's stopping you? Come on over, puclpodcast.com. You can jump right on in and have a good time talking with the hosts of the show, as well as the large community we've gathered over the years. So come on, let's hang out. Welcome to our topic. It is the beginning of the month, which means we were creatively bankrupt and we came up with a top 5 episode. And I think, top 5, bottom 5. So if you're new to this type of show, what we do here on the PoGo podcast is about once a month, because it's the dry season. We go ahead and we come up with a reason to discuss a top and bottom 5 of a certain category. And we go around, we nominate top and a bottom. We don't really have real criteria. We just all agree or disagree.
The criteria is my criteria.
Yeah, whatever the three of us decided the criteria. So every episode is different criteria, it turns out.
Vibes, aesthetic, whatever.
Based on vibes.
If you look, it is based on vibes. Look at the flying type episode if you want to see how
an example of how wrong things can go.
Yeah, just as a heads up.
Did we have to redo that one? Did we ever redo that to fix it?
We never redid it, and I kind of like not redoing it.
That's on the docket to do.
I kind of like the idea of not redoing it so we can keep memeing on it. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
We had plans to, but those plans wouldn't fly.
Management just wouldn't allow it to happen.
Because the list couldn't fly.
Management wouldn't.
Our producers just wouldn't let it work out. But today we are going to do our top and bottom 5 Generation 2 Johto Pokemon. Because we're doing the Puckle Badge Bonanza in Gen 2, what is more topical than to do this?
Exactly.
What the way this is going to work is each of us is going to go around and nominate a top and bottom 5. We're going to discuss why we think those Pokemon are good or bad, and hopefully we end up with a good top and bottom. So with that said, we are going to go ahead and rock and roll on this. I'm going to open things up with a top pick and a bottom pick. Okay, so in the top 5, I think this is going to be, I don't know.
There's no way you're not going to nominate what I think you're going to nominate.
I think you'll be surprised by my first choice.
Okay.
My first choice is going to be Mareep for the top 5. I think it is a classic, iconic Gen 2 Pokemon, and it's the reason Crystal is the inferior version of Pokemon in Gen 2.
So when you're advocating for Mareep, are you advocating for the entire line or for Mareep specifically?
I nominated Mareep only because I like Mareep and Flaffy design-wise better than Ampharos, but I love the vibe of the whole line.
Yeah, with them specifically, I feel like we can celebrate the entire line.
I am more than willing to celebrate the entire line in the top and bottom 5, in the top 5 here, because I just think they're...
Yeah, because I think of that line as very Johto in general, yeah.
It's very Johto, and I think it's just very Gen 2. Like, if I think Gen 2, some of the first Pokemon, and I mean, this is like...
If you want to use an electric type in Gen 2, that's what you're using.
I'm also breaking out a character and being like, yeah, for alligators, okay, it's fine. But, like, Ampharos...
I was waiting for alligator.
I know you were. Like, I'm breaking out a character right now. But Ampharos, I think, like, when I think Gen 2, I'm like, Ampharos... Mareep, Flaffy. Like, I was so stoked that Mareep was in Scarlet and Violet.
Especially because, like, there's that whole subplot with the Ampharos and Jasmine.
I don't know if that really sold me on it, but I just remember catching Flaffy.
But, like, my point is it's, like, more involved in, like, your experience going through Johto than a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know, like, the way I feel about Mareep specifically... one, you get it early enough that, like, catching Mareep, it goes through your journey with you just like a starter Pokemon would, almost.
Yeah.
And honestly, the design-wise and evolution-wise, it grows up kind of like a starter Pokemon as well.
It really does, yeah.
Like Mareep is, in my mind, like the 4th unofficial starter of Gen 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I could see that.
And I...
Actually, now I'm curious what Ampharos' stat total is.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I don't know what the BST is.
I'm gonna look it up, because it's like, is it 530? Is it 530?
If it's the same, that would be wild, actually.
That would just be so perfect, right?
And unlike the Johto starters, it got a Mega.
Its BST is 510.
Oh, just a little short. You know what? Give it an extra 20 in special attack. Just give it the extra juice. Just give it the juice.
135? What?
But wait, it sounds like we're all in agreement that, like, the Ampharos line in general.
Yeah, the Mareep Ampharos line.
Yeah, I like specifically more the Mareep.
I like the Mareep as well a little bit better, but
I also love that Flaffy changes color to, like, this pink. Like, I like that it stands into, like, I like the whole line. The whole line is cool. Yeah.
No, I feel like certain Pokemon just get more attention during the design process, and I think Mareep was one of them that got just more attention.
Maybe. I think Mareep's better than the other two, personally, because it does the whole, like, it loses all sheepishness and becomes something that is not...
I don't know what Ampharos is.
The light of my life? I don't either. Does anyone? Is it a giraffe? I've heard so many things.
I think it's... I have no idea I don't know what it's supposed to be.
It's an Ampharos. That's what it is. It's an Ampharos.
I've seen it in Pal World.
For some reason, it becomes like a little bit Egyptian themed, and I don't understand. It's fine. Okay, so we're gonna go bottom.
It loses its fingers.
I think there's some low hanging fruit here.
Yeah,
sure.
I think there's some low hanging fruit in terms of Gen 2 Pokemon. And I think this is a pair of them that I'll let one of you nominate the other one, but I think
they can share a spot.
I think Igglybuff is just bad.
Is Cleffa the other one?
Oh no.
Let them share the spot. They're both, like...
I think...
Igglybuff is worse. You know what?
How dare you for Cleffa?
We'll get there.
Igglybuff is a little worse. I agree. Igglybuff is awful.
Igglybuff is hideous. Cleffa is a little tiny star.
I think Igglybuff of the three of them, of like the two of them, is the worst for sure.
Of the babies, yeah. Hardcore worst baby, yeah.
All I remember is you have to complete the dex by breeding it because you're not catching it anywhere, and it's just kind of meh. Okay, and
for good reason. It died out in the wild because no one wants it.
Igglybuff
deflated balloon.
It's literally just a
Igglybuff does not spark joy. Okay,
just an upside down kind of inflated balloon with a face drawn on it.
No, this one does not. Hard agreed. Put it right in there.
I have not met anybody who's just like, I'm a real big Igglybuff stan.
You know, Cleffa is kind of cute. You're right, but Igglybuff is horrible.
Cleffa at least has a good TCG card.
It's a star.
Also, Cleffa's eyes are cuter.
It's a tiny little star.
Who wants to go next?
I have so many I want in my top 5. I don't know if I could reduce it, but I got a lot to go with off the bat.
Oh, you want to go first? You go, Sublime. You go.
Sure, I got a top. Here's a weird question. How do we feel about like even talking about the like legendaries? Because this generation, I think, has some of the most iconic. I'll table that for now, though. It's one we talked about. Crobat. Crobat is like love Crobat.
I
love Crobat.
Okay, so I don't disagree. I want to be. I hate how like easy that is to convince me. One, because I'm just like a real big Gen 2.
It's a great generation, yeah.
Like Seth could come in and be like, I nominate Ariados, and I'd be like, you know what, he's a cool Pokemon.
It is, but like, okay, let me make my case for Crobat. For one thing, it was a development.
Were you really?
It was an evolution, like it was building on what we already had from Gen 1. So it's like, oh, it's the next generation, it's the next evolution.
I was going to mention Ariados.
It evolves from happiness, which is really cool because then you feel that connection with your Pokemon. Also,
it's my favorite thing.
Not only do all the villains have a Crobat.
My favorite thing in Gen 2 specifically is that Silver,
all the villains have a Crobat.
Has a Zubat on his team when you first start battling him. And eventually, like he doesn't have a Crobat until after you're in the Dragon's Den with him. And he gets beaten up and he like gets this life lesson that he needs to be nice to his Pokemon. And then when you battle him before the Elite Four,
and then he loves his Crobat.
And before that, he's using
that's the character development.
And before that, he's using like frustration with his Pokemon for extra damage and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then he uses Return, right?
But then after that, he uses Return, yeah.
Taste. Narrative through Pokemon mechanics. We love it.
We used to complain about Pokemon not having story, but like these little details kind of do it for me now.
It's in the details, exactly. Especially like back then to have that kind of story. Also,
I'm not going to argue against Crobat. I think it's classic. I think so many of these Pokemon.
There's a lot, but like, yeah, Crobat has a lot to argue for it.
Gen 2 is genuinely, in my mind, just like the sequel to Gen 1.
It is, but in the best way.
Where like a lot of Pokemon who weren't complete in Gen 1 got completed in Gen 2.
Yes.
And I think Golbat to Crobat is like honestly the poster child for that.
Yes, exactly, which is why I wanted to nominate it.
So I accept Crobat as your answer. I accept it for the top 5.
By the way, it has BST 530, so it is like another starter. It is. It's a really good typing.
Poison Flying, it has been replicated, right? Somebody got it recently. Or no, maybe not.
And it's got such a weird typing that's so good.
No, I'm thinking of Petrarunt getting Poison Ghost. I don't think Poison Flying's on anything else other than that line.
It's good, too. It's a good, love Crobat. I almost never want to use the, regional bird if I can use Crobat.
Crobat's existence is what makes Fire Red and Leaf Green bad until the post-game.
Hard agree, because it brings it up every friggin' level.
It's the worst. Like, the fact that it tries to evolve, and it's like, you can't because this Pokemon doesn't exist yet.
That's so hateful. I completely agree. Bottom, that's a little bit harder, I will say. But, you know what? Maybe, I'm curious to see what y'all think about this one. Unknown. Such a gimmick.
I thought about it. I don't know that I would have put it in the bottom, but I wouldn't put it in the top. Unknown exists as like a collectathon.
It has some interesting things, but like it's such a one note, like nothing.
I like the hive mind aspect of it and how it's kind of a stand-in for legendary power.
Yeah, there's 28 of them, actually.
Yes, because then they had exclamation marks and question marks, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Oh, I'm actually...
No one wants to collect all the unknown. It's an exercise in frustration. It's an exercise in frustration.
I love catching the unknown. It's like, I'm genuinely excited in my Crystal playthrough for Puckle Badge Bonanza to complete the unknown decks.
Because it's like, All right, well,
It's so cool. I'm so excited. I don't feel bad about it. But like, we'll move on to Seth. We'll let Seth go, and we'll get there. I'm gonna table unknown.
Yeah, we'll move there. We'll move on. Let's table unknown.
I'll table unknown, but like,
I think we like so much of Johto, it's going to be hard to fill the bottom, and I'm like, unknown?
I do agree with you. I think I have like some Pokemon we get put in the bottom. Like, I think there's some bad ones.
Okay, let's hear them. But
I'll let Seth go.
Yeah. Okay. My top, and this is, I loved this one since it came out. Kingdra. Cool.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, Kingdra is so good. I'm on board. Kingdra, okay. It's cool because it's also like
the only additional dragon type.
It's the newest dragon type. Like, to a lesser extent, I think Misdreavus was cool at the time for the same reason, being like the only additional ghost type.
Mono ghost, yeah. The only mono ghost at the time.
The bummer about Misdreavus is that Morty didn't have one.
Oh, that's outrageous. I completely agree.
Morty didn't have one.
Although I think they corrected that in Heart Gold Soul Silver, right?
I don't know if they did it in the first place, like this first match.
I think his rematch team has it, or it has a Mismagius.
His rematch definitely it probably has Mismagius.
I'm like 99% sure it does.
A couple extra things I'll say about Kingdra, which is why I like it, is one, its Pokedex entries imply that it is the mythological creature Charybdis, because it says that it lives on the seafloor. Charybdis is from Greek mythology, and it was a creature that Odysseus had to sail between Scylla and Charybdis. Scylla was a sea monster with a bunch of heads and 8 people.
In the generation where they add Whirlpool, coincidence?
Charybdis was a creature that lived on the bottom of the ocean that created gigantic whirlpools. Yeah, generation they added Whirlpool, and it says Kingdra's Dex entry says it lives on the bottom of the seafloor and its yawns create gigantic whirlpools. It is Charybdis.
It's such a good design. It's a cool Pokemon. It's cool that they made the sea dragon into a dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
And it has a cool shiny.
It's also one of the few Pokemon that doesn't have the faded pastel vibe that everything else in Gen 2 does, then I hate.
But if you could distill that into one Pokemon, what would it be?
My bottom is the faded pastel vibe of the entire generation. Distill it into one Pokemon.
Oh, we gotta put Fred on the bottom to make Seth or Claude really mad. Make Claude real mad.
Let's see. What's the most faded stupid thing? God, I hate the color palette of Gen 2.
You're right. We can't do that.
Just make Claude mad. We had a lot of discussion pre getting in here, kind of leading into the babies kind of all being but I think they're supposed to be kind of just kind of ugly. So I want to stray away from babies because
it's really hard actually, though, isn't it?
It's hard to find bad Gen 2 Pokemon, isn't it?
Gen 2 Pokemon are mostly bangers. I'm not gonna lie.
It is hard. It's difficult.
Yeah, there's not a lot of filler. They're all really good.
I'm gonna go.
I think even pre-type change, it's kind of bad. Okay.
I'm gonna go with this one, mainly pre-type change and the Snubbull Granbull line.
I love it aesthetically, though. It's so cute.
After looking at the lineup that we have, I feel like it is.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like after looking at the lineup, I have to agree. I
don't know. Snubbull is so ugly, it's pretty.
I'm a cat guy too, so naturally I'm going to be against the dogs.
Like, what am I going to choose in the bottom that's not that? And I have like 2 other answers.
Maybe Quillfish.
I even think as a fairy, type, it's still not that great. Like, it gets play rough, and that's about it.
My name is Granbull. I've got 2 giant teeth, and I'm a bipedal dog.
I don't understand why they gave it fairy.
Because they needed more fairy types.
You're not entirely wrong, though.
Like, why is it a fairy? Not even really, because the Snubbull is the fairy Pokemon.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't, like, retcon stuff like Manaphy
Even the Granbull is the fairy Pokemon as its classification. This was kind of something from the beginning. Why? Why are they fairies at all? Why were they always fairies?
I don't know why they didn't do that. It does surprise me.
Also, now that I'm looking back and forth, there's huge physiological discrepancy between the official art and the 3D model.
I'm really okay with Granbull specifically. I think Snubbull is okay.
This is a hideous Pokemon. The official artwork looks like some kind of hairless rat.
Granbull more than Snubbull. If we put Granbull, I'm on board.
Yeah, I say Granbull. Let's just do it. Because I don't know what else I'm going to put on the bottom. I'm honest with you guys.
Into S&M, yeah.
So into top, and I'm trying not to choose. I don't want us to choose both of these Pokemon. So I'm gonna be the one that does it first, so that we don't choose both of them. No. I'm gonna choose Heracross. I'm gonna nominate Heracross.
What was the alternative?
Oh no, is it the Eevees?
I know everyone's so obsessed with Scizor.
I don't think I think
I don't feel the need for it to be in the top. I'll just say that.
I think Cleavor devalued Scissor stock. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, I like Scizor enough, but like, I don't think it needs to be in the top 5. I'll say that.
I think Heracross though is like.
Oh, is Scizor on your top?
How dare you?
I think Heracross is super iconic.
It's on my chart. How dare you?
You can disagree.
I don't know. I like Heracross a lot, and it is super iconic. My concern is it top 5?
That's fair. There are a lot of Pokemon that might be better than Heracross. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like, I love Heracross, but is it top 5? I don't know.
I love its presence in the anime. I just love Heracross.
I think that one thing that gives Heracross some extra points is its goofy presence in the anime.
I mean, the fact that Ash has one gives you points, for sure. Also, isn't Heracross originally one of the only Pokemon you could get through the headbutting thing? Points for Gen 2 originality.
There were a lot of Pokemon like that, though.
That was like the one you try to get, yeah.
I'm actually surprised at the number of bug-type Pokemon.
It's just like, I don't know, how are we supposed to choose only 5? How are we only supposed to choose 5? I think we could do a 10 and still argue about.
I think we can almost do 100, okay? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's like, that's the problem. It's like, but I want Ho-Oh and Tyranitar and Suicune and, like, the top 5 is not big enough.
We haven't even talked about Houndoom, okay?
Okay, we haven't even talked about Murkrow or Umbreon or, like, oh, there's so many good ones. There's too many good ones in Gen 2.
There's a lot of bangers. If we're not, I'm okay with not going. I'm not okay not going Heracross.
I think what we can do to settle is doing like top 5 that we think could get like the people to agree with us, and then we each do like an honorable mention.
That's true. So they will email. So they'll mail in.
Ladian's a banger. I don't know what to tell you.
Ah, jeez. Houndoom is so good too.
Okay. We're not gonna put Heracross. I'm gonna move on to my bottom pick.
I know, Lady Anne for top 5.
Yeah, let's pause on Hera.
Now this one's gonna probably be slightly controversial based on what you said, Seth, but I kind of agree with Sublime on some of the baby Pokemon not being great. I mean, we already put Igglybuff down there. The one I am gonna agree with, as much as I like the concept of it existing, like the concept, maybe not the design, but the concept, is Magby. I think Magmar keeps drawing the short end of the stick, okay?
You're not... Well, you know who got the real short end of the stick was Jinx, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I think Smoochum's probably better than Magby, but...
I agree. Smoochum is decidedly better than Magby, as is Elekid. Magby is the brunt of the litter between those three.
Smoochum at least is just goofy and just like the rest of her line.
I love the concept of Magby being like, I love the idea of here's a pre-evolution for Magmar, because Magmar is a good design. Here is Magby, where you're gonna go ahead and you're going to evolve it into that. But then Magby, I don't know, Magby just kind of falls flat. I think it might just be the mouth. Like if the mouth was like weird, I might be like, yeah, the hairdo is weird, right?
And the head. I don't like those things on its head. Is it like Birdo's unpopular stepsister? That's what I get looking at it, you know?
As far as the babies go, at least...
For bottom or top?
At least I would argue for Magby over Elekid as better. Because Magby, at least the hair things, like they look really stupid. But when it evolves into Magmar...
Elekid's iconic. I will fight you on Elekid. Elekid's so... No. No, you're wrong. You are wrong. You're wrong.
I don't know. Magmar looks like Spitfire.
It kind of keeps that head shape and just lights on fire. So it kind of keeps with a theme a little bit. Elekid.
It is the best idea in Pokemon. It's one of the best ideas. I love it. I love it.
Elekid is iconic. No, I love the plug-in. I love this wall socket. You're wrong. You're wrong. The socket is amazing. I'm with Thatch on this one.
Elekid is just stupid. Elekid is just a wall plug.
Agreed.
I hate the wall plug.
For safety, yes.
I love it. I love Elekid. Elekid is one of the few, maybe better baby designs compared to its evolution. Yes!
Did you know he actually moves...
It's even got the stupid holes in the top of its horns. It was so dumb.
Yeah. Hatch and plug. It's great. It's ready to go.
I'm okay with that. Tyrogue's just a vehicle.
I think Magby's really ugly.
It's just an egg that you plug in. Tyrogue's
just a vehicle to get you Hitmontop, okay?
You know what? Why don't we split the diff and put Tyrogue in the bottom?
It's an egg timer.
Tyrogue on the bottom. We just pulled that out of nowhere, and I'm okay with it.
Tyrogue is hideous. Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
It's annoying to evolve.
That's just a man.
Sure, there we go. It's like, you know what? We're definitely looking at the babies for bottom 5. I'm like, actually...
What? Well, how tall is Tyrogue? What is Tyrogue's height? 2 foot 4 inches. He's just a boy, okay?
Tyrogue is right there. That's just a man. Boy man. I don't know. What is... Ugh.
That's just a man.
I have things I can say off air. But either way, Sublime, it's you. It's your turn. Top and a bottom.
With unfortunate fingers. Ugh. Poor thing. Ugh.
It's that's just a person in a Pokemon cosplay. At least he has fingers. Glances at Hitmontop.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Top, I would be remiss if I didn't advocate for... Well, oh, gosh, there's so many. But I do feel that, actually, I'm going to pause on some of my personal favorites for something that I think we would all agree absolutely has to be in the top 5. And that is Tyranitar.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Tyranitar.
Icon.
Umbreon is actually, like, legit really cool, too, which is...
Like, I wanted to be like, oh, let me advocate for Umbreon, or, oh, let me advocate for Murkrow. I love Murkrow. Murkrow is one of my very favorites, but I'm like, actually, though, Tyranitar... you gotta put Tyranitar in the list. You gotta.
How are they all this good? Like, I don't understand. Well, I think the answer as to why they're all that good is because in...
It's all bangers!
Yeah, like Gen 2, like I said, is just sequel to Gen 1, so a lot of them are just evolutions of Pokemon we already loved in Gen 1.
I know. Okay.
And I think that's part of it. Do you have a bottom nominee, Sublime?
Other than their faded colors?
I do actually. I'm only going to nominate one of them. And it is partially because retroactively it's kind of like that, why did we even need you as a middle child? Piloswine.
Yeah, it's just that I think about like the 8 years in between Mamoswine and not Mamoswine.
Because I think Swinub is super cute and Mamoswine's really cool, and then there's Piloswine or how do you say it? Is it Piloswine? Piloswine.
Piloswine as a Pokemon is not exciting. It does not spark joy. I do agree with that.
Okay, even before we had Mamoswine, I don't think anyone thought Piloswine was good.
I don't want to hate on Macargo for hate just because it's so easy. It feels too easy, and I feel.
Yeah, I was between nominating that and like Macargo. If you think Macargo's we could go with Macargo.
Macargo's a Gen 3 Pokemon.
I feel like Macargo. A lot of my feelings of Macargo are just tainted by not Gen 3 even, but by Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, because it's one of the only fire types you can get early on if you don't pick Flareon. Which why would you anyway?
I just wish it got something by now. Like give it an evolution, give it something.
I kind of like it. It feels like something that would be a Pokemon. Magcargo.
No, but actually, fun fact, I've learned this week as the community is playing through Generation 2 on the Discord server, puclpodcast.com, by the way. In Generation 4, in the remakes, there's actually a way to get like a really early game Slugma And a lot of people have been using that to like really good advantage on their parts. Yeah. So I can't hate on it entirely. Yeah, but the Slugma gets but it also gets Flame Body. And so like a lot of things punch it and then get burned, and then and it's one of the few fire types you can get before later in the game. Like I think the first fire types you can catch in the game, if you don't pick Cyndaquil. Like the first fire types, you get Vulpix and Growlithe, but you don't get a Firestone for. There is a way to get a Firestone, but it's rough. Your mom can't give you it. There's in the original Generation 2 games. I hate that I know this now. It's such deep lore. It feels like going through this game now. The way to get one is there are 4 trainers that give you phone numbers that will sometimes find stones in Generation 2, and so you can get their phone numbers. Yes. You only get 10. You only get 10. So you keep Joey, and you get the 4 stone guys, and you add nobody else.
Meanwhile, the limit on your contacts is criminal in that game, is all I'll say. Criminal, the limit in your contacts. But then you need all the swarm people. Otherwise, you'll never get a Dunsparce. Fun tragic fact, I came across a Dunsparce randomly my first time playing Gold. Didn't catch it, didn't know it was a 1% appearance rate. Yeah.
How dare? How dare? No, I just like Dunsparce for so many reasons.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, to be honest. It's a meme. Yeah.
And I hate how I had to put up with 20 years of people asking for a Dunsparce evolution. I love the evolution more, but only for it to come out 20 years later, and for it to just be the developers memeing at all of the people asking for a Dunsparce evolution. I loved a Dunsparce. That's what I love.
I like the evolution more.
We're talking about Piloswine. Piloswine's in the bottom. We already said this.
You know what? I do like that about it. But yeah, Piloswine, Macargo, Dunsparce, pick one. I'm fine with any of those. Piloswine, yeah, Piloswine. I agree. Perfect. All right.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the best one, which is Lugia, because you loved how he has hands for wings.
I do. See, we can't do a top 5 episode without really naming the top Pokemon, which is Hitmontop.
Oh, I thought you were going to say... I like Ho-Oh more than Lugia, is the problem.
Because it's a... Gah.
Your bottom is Skarmory?
No, it's a...
You know what? We should just give it to Suicune.
It's a top Pokemon.
I think so.
I don't think Hitmontop makes the top.
My actual nomination is Skarmory.
It's tough. That's a tough sell.
No, in top. No, my top is Skarmory. The other Hitmontop was a bit.
Why did it get its own game? I don't even know why. I don't even know why it got its own.
Suicune might be the most iconic Gen 2 legendary. It got its own game. It was the first site game. I don't know. Yeah, and it's the pretty one.
Okay, I like that we just hijacked your suggestion, Seth. We hijacked your suggestion.
Right? Like, there's no reason for it, and it still got its own game. It's not like a third counterpart to the other two. It's just that pretty that it deserved it. Because, like, some people prefer Lugia, some people prefer Ho-Oh.
Skarmory's a Gen 3 Pokemon.
Fair. Yeah, I'm down with it. I dig it. I think it's better.
Everyone can agree with Suicune. Well, I wasn't going to co-sign Skarmory, even though I love it. Okay, get us with the bottom selection.
I may get you with the bottom selection, though. Yeah, exactly. That's the other problem. It's got the same Meg Cargo issue. I've got to nominate the Spinarak line because it's cool in theory, but it goes from having 6 legs, which is not a spider, to 4 legs, which is even less of a spider.
To 4.
You know what? You know what's even worse about it is it gets like its own signature move. I think it gets its own signature move in a game that it doesn't exist in. Let me look it up. It does get its own signature move, which is insane. It gets Toxic Thread, which maybe it came out in Gen 7. It might have come out in Gen 7. No. Toxic Thread came out in... Oh my gosh. No, it did come out in Gen 7. Specifically for the Ariados line, and then became unselectable in Sword and Shield almost immediately after. And then it came back though in BDSP and is still available in Scarlet and Violet. So huzzah! I agree. I think Ladian's better than Ariados, so I'm all for it.
But it goes from being an insect to a mammal? I don't know. As far as leg count, and it always bothered me.
Ladian's trying to summon the Megazord, okay? And Ariados is not, okay?
I always liked Ariados more than Ledian, but I think they could all fit in that spot. Well, that's how I feel about Ariados.
Spinarak was also the wrong color in the original Gen 2 games. Just throw that out there.
Ledian's just so cool in theory. If its stats didn't suck, it would be so cool.
I guess. That's fair. You know what? You're right. You're right. That is true. That is true. It makes it, not a fan of that one.
I think that's the correct answer. Okay, we're going to put Ariados on the bottom, and we have actually hit our list.
I don't know. I think Spinarak and Ariados are cute, but the problem is Gen 2 goes so hard that, it's probably towards the bottom.
Right? Right, though? You mean all of them?
Honorable mention to literally every other Gen 2 Pokemon. Can we just talk about some of the things that didn't make this list because of how hard it was to do? Lantern is so cool. Xatu is so cool. Azumarill, so cool. We didn't even talk about Espeon and Umbreon, which are both super cool. Murkrow and Misdreavus, so cool. Politoed, Bellossom, Split Evolutions. We didn't add Steelix. Slowking and Steelix, oh my god. This whole generation, we didn't add Houndoom somehow. Everything else is an honorable mention, basically.
This is why Gen 2's best gen, okay? Just throwing it out there, guys.
Yeah, there's also... Gen 2 really cooked. Gen 2 really cooked.
Well, a bottom mention that I didn't get to say, that I would like to throw out there. I think this is one Pokemon that's probably the only disappointment in a Gen 2 playthrough, especially for the first time if you're coming in cold, which nobody ever is anymore. But when we came in cold as children, Togetic.
I
mean, we all did at least.
Oh, it's absolutely Togetic. It's like this. I feel like somebody at TPC, was like, we need to let this thing evolve. And then they're just like, what if it just became a blob with wings?
If I had to pick one thing from that line that would be in the bottom, it would be the Togetic. Because Togepi is an icon, and Togekiss is an icon. But Togetic is fine. It's there. It's whatever. What if it just... Yeah, I guess. I have a soft spot for it because Misty had one. But that's about it. Yeah.
It's got hands.
Yeah, it would be an honorable bottom mention, I guess.
So our top list is the Ampharos / Mareep line, Crobat, Kingdra, Tyranitar, and Suicune. Our bottom is Igglybuff, Granbull, Tyrogue, Piloswine, Ari. Let us know, and the color palette. Let us know what your top and bottom 5 Johto Pokemon are next week at puclpodcast@gmail.com. But until then, guys, we're going to kick it on over to our Pokemon of the episode. We will catch you, Flip-Flop.
Poke of the episode.
Welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 229, Houndoom, the dark Pokemon.
If you are burned by the flames it shoots from its mouth, the pain will never go away.
I just realized it was called the dark Pokemon. That made me...
Right?
I almost broke after I read that. Because, I don't know, I do very much remember when Gen 2 came out, it was a very big deal because dark type and steel type became a thing. And I do very much remember, I memorized very quickly, there are 6 of each.
And they're all good. They are all good. I like every dark and steel type in Gen 2.
The steel type two of the 6 steel type Pokemon in Gen 2 are just retcons. They're
still great Pokemon though.
Magnetite and Magneton are 2 of the 6. And then you've got Steelix, Fortress, which is still a cool Pokemon.
Still a cool Pokemon. Scizor, Skarmory,
and then Skarmory. And those are your 6 steel types. And your dark types are Houndoom, Houndour, Tyranitar, Umbreon, which is a cool Murkrow, and the last one, oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
Weavile.
Sneasel, yeah.
Sneasel, that's the one, yeah. Sneasel's great. Oh, they're all great. They're all great.
Why? I don't know if it's... I feel like I should be it's nostalgia glasses that are making me feel this way. No, I'm wrong. They just... Pokemon were built...
They're great designs. Okay? They're all really good. They're really good.
To be fair, I don't know that I could say any designs are super trash until Gen 4, really, when they do some of the I got fat when I evolved Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have Gen 5, which is just like, we tried to make all the Gen 1 Pokemon different.
We say this, but then there's Igglybuff, so.
Yeah, that's true. Igglybuff's here. But Houndoom is our Pokemon of the episode.
Yeah.
I love Houndoom. I don't know what to say.
Great.
Like, I don't know.
It's caught outside of Celadon City for some reason in Gold and Silver.
Yeah, it's fine. I
there's
think
that one route outside Celadon City. It's a little weird. That's all.
So Gen 2 actually like puts a lot of Pokemon in a lot of places. Like, if you really think about it, like Houndour and Houndoom are technically like they're technically Kanto Pokemon. Same with Murkrow, actually, I think. But Farfetch'd is a Johto Pokemon because it's only catchable in Johto.
Huh.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
How weird. Okay.
Yeah. Which makes it weirder. Like, it's kind of funny thinking about it in Gen 1 because the only way to get Farfetch'd back in Gen 1 was to trade for it. And so to think about it like, oh, that guy was just from Johto and he just had a Farfetch'd.
Yeah, turns out.
Turns out it wasn't actually a Kanto Pokemon. He just like brought this one from Johto. Now, why you couldn't catch Houndour in Gen 1, I have no idea. It would have been a banger and it would have been an instant success. But I don't know. Houndour and Houndoom have always been really cool, though. I just like Darkfire. I don't know how to get to it. I mean, they have like 4
It's a
TCG
Hellhound.
sets.
It's so cool. Like, it's great.
There's 4 TCG sets that are just named after its type. Crimson Invasion.
Yeah. Obsidian
Flames.
Burning Darkness.
Flashfire. Yeah.
It's half there.
Halfway there. The third set in every TCG block is a Charizard set.
A Houndoom set, rather.
Yeah, Houndoom set. Yes. Oh, actually, OG Houndoom sprites are weird. Like, they're really more red than
I was seeing that.
To be fair, it is in part because the Gen 3 sprites, or not the Gen 3, the Gen 2 sprites, for those of you at home, only had a color palette that only contained 4 colors in every single one of them. And 2 of those colors were always taken up by black and white. So if you actually look at any Gen 2 Pokemon sprite, you'll notice that like there's only 2 colors that do anything.
Yeah.
Typically. They're just
also seeing
they're really good at like just spreading them out and making you feel like they have shades of those colors all around.
Yeah.
It's done
I'm also
well.
seeing in the trivia section that Houndoom is one of the few Pokemon that in Gen 2 has 3 distinct sprites across the 3 games.
Yeah.
Not many Pokemon have that.
No, they don't. Like, it's actually really different. Like, the gold version sprite has like fire coming out of its mouth. The silver version it just looks like a dog. To be fair, like the design from Houndoom, it's one of those things where it looked like it evolved between gold and silver, like crystal, to where they're like, oh, this is more like the official artwork type deal.
Yeah.
Like the gold and silver artwork are just like, yeah, it's close enough.
Yep.
And then Crystal's like, no, we gotta really tighten this up, you know, make it look like it's supposed to.
Like, for instance, the front sprite has way more neck rings.
Yeah,
the back sprite has no more neck rings than the front sprite.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. I just love Houndoom. I just think it's a cool Pokemon.
It's a great Pokemon. It's a great Pokemon.
Cool. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so happy.
It's real neat.
It does. It absolutely does.
And it got a Mega. Like, lots of cool stuff.
It did get a Mega Houndoom is actually pretty cool in and of itself.
True.
And it is a Pokemon. Of all Pokemon that deserved a Mega, it is one of them, I think.
Yeah. I like how the Mega, it's...
Right? Yeah, it's only based at 500.
I think so. I like how the Mega's arm bands are broken.
Yeah. Because he's
it's broken free of its chains.
He's free now.
You can't hold it down. It's too strong.
Seth, can you think of while I look for them, can you think of a Pokemon, of a TCG card in which Houndoom was actually viable?
It was the Battle Styles Single Strike.
That one actually did just come. That one just rotated out. You're actually right.
Yeah, and that was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it was
for a while until we got better Single Strike energy, and because the wording on it made it so you could only search for one exactly named Single Strike energy.
Yeah, because it didn't let you do impact energy
with the Single Strike tag.
It didn't let you do impact energy, which was one.
Had it been that, it would still have seen play.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I played it when I first got back into the game.
Yeah.
Because there was I was looking for cheap decks, and it turns out I was playing Pokemon, so every deck was cheap. But cheap, like super like dirt cheap decks to play when Seth was like, "You want to go to Nationals back in 2022?"
Yeah,
and I was like, "Man, I haven't played cards in so long. Let me go look at like current decks and what the meta looks like now." And the disappointing thing, like, what was the problem was I built this Hariyama Houndoom deck where this Houndoom accelerates the single strike energy onto your single strike Pokemon, which Hariyama is one of them.
Yeah,
and the whole point is if somebody tries to knock out your Hariyama, you just flip a coin, and if it's tails, they just
that thing.
They just don't get knocked out, which is absolutely ludicrous.
It's so silly.
And so I built that deck. The problem is I built that deck and then I instantly realized you could just buy Urshifu V decks for like $30. Dude, the best product that's come out of the Pokemon TCG is like the battle decks as of late. Like,
agreed.
Like we're getting that Charizard one, which is just like a straight tier 1 deck with a prime catcher in it for $30.
It has a prime catcher in it. Like, what?
The deck is the price of the prime catcher. Like,
it is. It's so nuts.
I'm looking forward to prime catcher just tanking as a result.
Yeah,
but,
same.
I love it. Either this game's so healthy. I don't like. Oh my gosh, it's so healthy in terms of price and consumer value. But
they really responded to what they saw when things went sideways.
They did. No, they did really well. They've done really well. I think they've done too well. Which is what prompted the change in like a lot of world structure. But dude, I do love Houndoom. I wish there was a better card than that one. Where's the TCG in the TCG?
There were some older ones that did something. I feel like there was a mill Houndoom that did okay.
Did the EX from back in the day? I feel like
that was the mill one. I think.
Really, the one from like I'm thinking of like what was the EX? I'm trying to think which set that came from because there's the Breakthrough. That's the one I'm thinking of. There's the EX and then there's the Mega EX. I forget which one, if the Mega was any good, but let me look at it. Oh, now I have to remember, Seth. No, the Mega EX is not good at all. It only had 1 attack and like no abilities. What a terrible Mega, actually.
All Mega EXs only had 1 attack, I think.
Did they all? Really?
I want to say that was also the generation where they first added Spirit Links. It was before they made them usable, even, really.
Spirit Links came about a little bit before this, I think, actually.
Oh, I think that was the set they came in, but maybe it was one before.
Yeah, it was the Houndoom EX that went into the Mega. It had, for 1 fire energy, Melting Horn, discard the top 2.
Yeah.
It was occasionally good in a mill deck. I got hit by it a couple times.
Every time I look at these, I look at the cards from like pre like Sword and Shield, I haven't realized like how much of just like an HP increase there's been.
Right.
Because I played in X and Y and early Sun and Moon, and I was just like, okay, this is all normal. And then like I played Sword and Shield, I'm like, okay, this is all normal. The HP numbers feel a little bit bigger, but they can't be that much bigger. And then I was just like, oh,
huge.
I'm like, Mega Pokemon have the same HP as a basic EX now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine. I don't understand why Pokemon does it with rotation. Like, we have rotation. You don't need to like power creep. We're forced to buy the new cards anyway. It's fine. I guess they were worried about Expanded for a long time, but Expanded's dead, and I need
what format is that?
I need every Expanded player to just accept this fact right now.
Yeah.
As I'm speaking to the microphone. Expanded's dead. Stop trying to make Expanded happen. It's not going to happen anymore. Go play GLC. Have fun, buddy.
Yep. Agreed. There's your new Expanded.
Because Expanded's not... The thing that is like Pokemon keeps pretending like it's still a thing, and they just like updated the ban list like a month ago. So
yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
For the next tournament you go to for Expanded.
When your tournament organizer decides to run a side event with Expanded, here you go. Here's your rules.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, we didn't talk a lot about Houndoom, but Houndoom's a cool Pokemon, and I can't tell you how much I love it more than I already love it. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know when they sometimes like when a new generation comes out and they'll like give an old Pokemon like a slight stat boost.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope they just give Houndoom like just 10 points of speed, and I think we'd all be a lot happier.
Oh yeah, isn't it like 85?
It's 95, which is so infuriating.
Oh yeah, 95 used to be like a really good cutoff, and it's not anymore.
No, anything sub, like breaking that 100 is a big point. So would love to see it just get a little bit of speed.
95 used to be the cool kids club. It used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
I didn't realize it was so fast.
Yeah, dude, Houndoom, man. He's going to go blazing fast. But with that said, guys, I am going to cut us off here. And we're going to go on over to our mailbag. So let's kick it on over to that.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
Welcome to our mailbag. Our mailbag is the segment where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we might read it on the show. Unfortunately, I am reading these on the show today. I don't know what's going on. I have read all of these emails, and based on that, you'll understand my confusion.
Yeah, you've been busy. It's fine.
Sorry, I took a break, guys. I need to not... Do you want Puckle to come out, okay? Do you want Puckle to come out? I needed to take a break. I come back and the whole place is just... It's like I'm Troy from Community walking in with the pizza, man, okay? What's worse is like the show came out on Monday and like some of the emails started rolling in before like I even had a chance to like recognize it was Monday since it was a holiday.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, what is happening? I don't understand.
My whole week is thrown off. I was at Dragon Con all weekend, so my entire sense of time is messed up.
Yeah, so for those of you, also, if this is a good email, I guess, I don't know if any of these are good based on the contents. You get the Green Tauros badge, because this segment, as always, is brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
All right, well...
ASMR, I love it.
I don't think any of these emails are responding to the last week's topic.
Go on your own journey. That's okay, too.
I think the mailbag had something to do with Score Bunny. That is the only thing I could gather. From reading these emails. This first one is going to be from Tamal, and I've unfortunately got this one.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Good day, Puckle, and especially Thatch. That's not foreboding. I've been getting really into acrostic poetry lately, and I wanted to share my latest piece with you. I was inspired by your wonderful co-host, Shark Finnegan, R Sigma, and Claude9. Heart emoji. The first letter of each line, you'll understand. You can try to spell it out at home. Shark Finnegan wanted me to tell you that Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. Claude9 also wanted me to tell you that Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. Oh my gosh, Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. R Sigma also wanted me to tell you that Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. Bunnies are in Pokemon Go. Specifically, the score kind.
Specifically, the score kind.
Unbelievable. Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. No way. Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. Never again will Score Bunny not be in Pokemon Go.
You know what? Be careful what you say.
Score Bunny is in Pokemon Go. Anyway, I hope you like my poem. I wrote it just for you, Thatch. Tamal.
Do you feel special, Thatch? He wrote that just for you. They wrote that just for you.
You know, to be fair, this is the most amount of gifts anybody has ever given me since I started running Puckle. Granted, none of them were warranted or wanted. But I do feel, I feel some tangential feeling to love.
There are feelings happening.
Some positive experience. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that, Tamal. This next one is from The Real Thintros, and I believe Seth has this one?
Yeah, I've got this one. They say, "Sup, Puckle people? Claude9 & Co. said to write in about anything, so I thought I would share what's new in Pokemon for me." Why is this formatted weird? Why are there lines in different places? Originally, about 5 to 6 months ago, my eldest child started playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, you know why? You have to look at the first letters of each line, Seth, and then you'll understand.
Oh my god. Oh, anyway, I continue. Right now, she is sort of lost interest right before the Elite Four. Because of this, I thought maybe she would like the extra mechanics and different style of Pokemon Violet. Unbelievable difference. Not only is she getting right into it, but she's had me sort of I can't read. But she's had me sort of show her how to shiny hunt a little. Okay, no access to the harder rates yet, but she's working her way through it slowly. You want to guess what she's prioritizing? That first stanza spells Score Bunny.
In the first letter of each sentence, in formatted in the email. Yes.
In the first letter. Next, there's a line break. I was surprised, as she has kind of sped through the main story in her last game. She's trying to get into every area she can and catch all available Pokemon before hitting the next gym or Titan or Team Star area. That line spells is. Next paragraph. I'd never have predicted it. Not able to do raids with her or battle with her just yet. That line spells in. Go real easy on her if we were to try battling already. On her own, she's making it slowly through the game. That spells go. Not sure if we get her a copy of the DLC yet either. Ogerpon's a Pokemon she's seen before and likely once. We'll see for now, but thanks. Catch you later. That spells now. That all spells Score Bunny is in go now. P.S. Sorry, Thatch, but read the first letter of each sentence. The real Thintros. What chaos? What is happening?
I don't understand. I just don't understand the meme. I appreciate the unity that is felt amongst all of the people that wrote emails this week. I appreciate the camaraderie that people I guess they thought this would bother me. I'm only bothered in that I don't understand why they think it should bother me. I don't understand.
We gotta go listen to them on his episode now.
All right. Well, our last email this week is from Mankey.
Yeah, I got this one. And I'm wondering if Mankey is secretly Sabrina Carpenter, because this is short and sweet. Afternoon, Puckleites. I was inspired by the tangent in the Unanswered Pokemon Questions episode about a Kangaskhan pre-evolution. How about this? If the mother is in your party with the egg and it's a female, a Kangaskid hatches from the egg. Male eggs still hatch as Cubone. If the mother isn't in your party, all the eggs hatch as Cubone. This would sort of imply that Kangaskhan abandons its male children and only raises the females. But hey, our childhoods were already irreparably scarred by Cubone's story. What's a little more trauma? Okay, that's it. Short one. Stay Goldeen, Puckle boys and girls. Mankey.
I like that. I like that idea.
That's cute. I like that. Ooh, you know what? I want to give this one...
The Green Taurus badge?
The Green Taurus. This one is the Green Taurus.
This is the Green Taurus.
Because they actually did go on their own path and not doing the Score Bunny thing. So, you know.
They didn't just go with the flow, and I'm here with
points for originality.
There's a good G.K. Chesterton quote about this.
Yeah.
G.K. Chesterton once said, dead things can go with the flow of the river, but only living things can go against the flow.
Whoa.
So deep, I know.
I always just heard that brevity is the soul of wit, and I identify with that in this email.
Mankey, you get the Green Taurus badge. I'm not going to fight this.
Good for you. You know, I do believe that Mankey is secretly Sabrina Carpenter, but I could be wrong.
Oh, right. I can't wait to wake up to emails, notifications on my phone tomorrow, since we recorded earlier than the usual time, receiving emails with hidden Score Bunny messages in them.
It's going to be exciting.
It'll be something, I'll tell you that much. I'll just be like, I don't understand. I continue to not understand.
I don't know what's happening.
What is happening? Next week, though, let us know what your top and bottom 5 Johto Pokemon are in the email at puclpodcast.com.
It's a tough thing to do, isn't it? I know. It's okay. We can all be wrong. They're all so good, we're all wrong.
If you also hate faded color palettes, stand with me, brothers and sisters and others.
But yeah, that is going to be it for this. Next time, if you want to keep up with us, come to the Discord and play Pokemon Gen 2 with me for the Puckle Badge Bonanza at pucklediscord.com. You can, of course, also follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Additionally, you can follow us over at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. I'm actually going to set up a streaming time this week. So look out for that on the Discord, because I'm going to stream my Gen 2 playthrough just for funsies. And hopefully, eventually, my Pokemon Stadium 2 run through that team.
Why would you play that? There's no Score Bunny in that.
Because all of the Gen 8 starters, like all of them, not just Score Bunny. Like, come at me, Grookey fans. But who's a Sobble fan? Do they exist?
Linian.
I'm so sorry. He could like a good Pokemon. No, he likes Score Bunny. He likes good Pokemon
as well. He likes lots of Pokemon.
I like lots of Pokemon too, just not the bad ones. But either way, I digress. You can also help support the show by going over to Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast. Flip-flops are going to be going out here soon, for those of you who are at the $20 tier. And then next month, we'll kick off our new merch. I haven't decided. It's either going to be a festive candle or something else. Maybe a throw blanket. We'll look into it. Shower curtain? Puckle shower curtain? Is that what the people want?
Tapestry?
Tapestry could be on the table.
Resurrect the ancient meme.
Welcome, Matt, for your front door.
Actually, I think we can talk about this later, but yes. But either way, or you can go to trollandtoad.com and buy your Stellar Crown cardboard with code PucklePod5 at checkout and get a 5% discount. We appreciate anybody who does it. It helps us out and helps you out at the same time. So yeah, with that said though, guys, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been the Lord of Seth Vilos.
And I continue to be Sublime.
Here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing.